Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's a social production. That's right. We're doing. It's a social production. That's right. We're doing it on Friday, October the 31st, 2021. Happy Halloween, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, the familias, over there, further down south, the United States of the Americas, over there, further down south than that, Mexico's, day to day. Also joining us, South America, Europe, the Celtic people, the Irish people, over there in Italy, in Sweden, over there in Senegal, in Africa, over there in Zimbabwe, over there in Asia, Thailand, Portugal, back in the Congo. How about the Cameroon there? Let me catch my breath for a second. Let me just get a sip of this bad boy right here. It's Halloween, baby. It's that time of year. It is that time of year. It's a cold day today. It's a chillier day, rather. Not cold, but chilly. In Toronto, anyway. It's been raining. The wind is out and about. I hope that doesn't deter you from going out. Taking your kids trick-or-treating. Or yourself attending events that are Halloween-centric. Meaning wearing costumes. Getting dressed up. Getting drunk. Looking all sorts of nice and tight. In different costumes, like slutty nurse, slutty nun, slutty teacher, slutty firefighter, slutty cop, slutty cat, slutty, fire hydrant, slutty telephone pole. You get it, Halloween. Slutty slut. It's here, baby, it's here. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Halloween, this Halloween, and the weekend too. And once again, shout out to the Blue Jays. I do not know what's going on. I've never really followed baseball, but if I'm not mistaken, this is it. Got 2 more games, or 1 more, but it could be done on the weekend, I think. It's either, is it today or tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow, it's today. I don't know, there's like 2 more games. If we win 1 more, I thought we just got into the World Series. I don't know much about it. I thought we just got, because they're like, just the other day, I heard the Toronto Blue Jays were in the World Series. I thought, okay, I thought this was like the final stage of the competition. I think if we win 1 more or 2 more, 1 more game, I think if we win, we get the championship, son. I may not know much about baseball, but I can definitely pretend. Baseball is a game of hand-eye coordination. Baseball is a game where you grab a stick and your opponent grabs a ball. And we all know how we feel about grabbing sticks and balls. Fellas, ladies know what I'm talking about. You swing and you pitch, you throw up gang signs, you chew tobacco and you spit. And you hit a home run and you run to the bases and you steal the base, and we're promoting theft. This is, they say, there's a fine line between theft and society collapsing. So careful what you'll be promoting out there. But nonetheless, so shout out to the Blue Jays. I believe we're playing the Dodgers. Again, I'm not too familiar with the game of I've swung a few bats, and I like the only part of baseball I've liked is the pitching and the hitting. Everything else was a little bit too slow paced for my taste, but that doesn't make it any less of a sport. That doesn't make it, doesn't make it less exciting. As you grow to appreciate things for what they are too. It might not be my favorite sport, but it's a sport. It's not. And again, if your team's up there, and it feels like we're gonna win, let's rally around and wear our blue gear and say yes. Take it all the way home. I hear about Ohtani is a wonderful player. Apparently he's kicking ass in the MLB. But guess what, son? You about to go off against the Jays now. Oh, let the thunder strike. Let the storm be brewing, because you could be the best, but once you come and tango with the Jays, it's about to, because these guys are, got me. I've saw a couple of highlights for a few minutes, and I think I know exactly what I'm talking about. We got it in the bag, but also we go there with just Come on, guys. I love it. I love it anytime. You know, if I was in any other city, and if it was, again, that's what it is. Home pride. It's home pride. Everybody gets it. So yeah, I hope the Jays win. Kick ass out there. Fucking do whatever you do whatever you got to do. Hit, you know, grease those bats, spit on those balls, you know. If you need to play dirty, play dirty. If you need to play it clean, then keep it clean. If it needs to be below the belt, you know what to do. Drop it or suck it. What? Different sport. I often get every sport mistaken with the sex Olympics. Don't suck it unless necessary, unless we need to. And if we need to, we'll fucking get on our knees and we'll do it. We'll do whatever it takes to get the job done. That's baseball, I think. What's going on in and around the world? It's Friday. We are running around. We are at the end of the month. Let's get right into it. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, what was I even going to talk about, dude? It's one of those days. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it's been one of those weeks. It's been a good, blessed week. Very grateful. But again, it's been one of those beautiful, wonderful weeks that, you know, are just fucking right there, dude. Just in the red zone. Just fucking, you know? What I even want to talk about. I have no idea, to be honest with you. It's going to take me a second. So bear with me. Bear with me while all the blood rushes from my peen to my... Because I got hard thinking about baseball. I lost a little bit of the blood from the old Brady poo. And you're like, keep it in the pants. We're happy as long as you're hard, thank you. I'm happy as long as you're hard too. I hope you got that pre-cum going. What was I even going to talk about? No idea at this point. No idea, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. I forget what I was going to talk about, so it doesn't matter. So we'll talk about whatever comes in our mind. Then start off with it. There's a beautiful pantless cop versus Judge Perkins. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you saw this video or not, but there was a video of a judge, beautiful Judge Perkins, doing a virtual court hearing with a cop who happened to have a virtual court sesh. And this wonderful, beautiful cop happened to be a brother. He was, or a brother rather. He was sitting down, about to have his court, and then the camera dipped down, and you saw that he wasn't wearing any pants, which brought me a little bit of, you know, it was titillating, stimulated my mind. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. First of all, it wasn't a thing. We didn't have virtual courts back in the day. It was just courtrooms. You gotta get dressed up, you know, look professional, look formal. Suit, maybe a shirt, a nice clean shirt, maybe a tie, pantaloons, ladies, skirts. Do your hair a little, clean up. You want to look good, you want to look presentable. You don't want to look like a criminal going into court. This gentleman, he's a cop too. I don't know what he was in court for. It doesn't matter. He wasn't wearing pants, which, you know, a lot of the internet is divided on this because a lot of the streets, they're divided on it too. Because for one, we love cops. Second, everybody loves pants, but everybody also adores being pantless, not wearing the bottoms. Is it time that we break away from tradition and say, hey, pants are optional, at least in virtual court? Because now the camera did dip down and we did catch a glimpse of the thighs. But if you're at home, if you're doing virtual meeting, there should be a little bit of leeway. You don't even need to wear pants. You should just tilt it up the camera. It would have been fine. So no, I'm advocating for this. If you are doing virtual court, I understand this is a court. This is a professional setting. This is life or death. I don't know what they were discussing. I don't know the crimes or, you know, the charges or whatever. But nonetheless, being virtual, you should have the option, because wearing pants, you know, I could be not wearing pants right now, and you wouldn't know unless I step back and I show you my balls. I'm not doing that right now because it's not that kind of show. As you can see, I am wearing pants, and we're all very comfortable. But yeah, if you are a brother and you're gonna go pantless, do everybody a favor. Again, I'm speaking on behalf of just, you know, the general public right now. Show the cack. And again, it's not for me. Might not even be for you specifically, or it might be specifically just for you. You who's watching, right? It might be just for you. So you're welcome out there. Yeah, because this beautiful gentleman showed the thighs, no cock. And that's just a little bit, you're being a cock tease at this point. You're being a cock tease. The public wants to see it. If you're gonna go pantsless, you should go, commando as well. You should just show that taint. You should just show the sack is what it is. Because that's more honest if you think about it. Yeah, because anybody could dress, anybody could put up a front. You could wear a suit, you could wear a tie, you could, do your hair, lady, you could put on some makeup, make yourself look present. But going pantless is essentially saying, hey, look at me, this is me. As again, as God or nature created me. This is in my barest of bears. This is just, it's vulnerable. It's actually more heroic in a sense. It's more respectable. I respect it on a certain level. I do respect it. I know this is not traditional courthouse etiquette, but again, this is not a traditional this is just a podcast. This is what this is. So I'm rooting for more pantless, virtual any meetings. You do got to be, again, if you're going to show it all. Don't go out there and teasing, because that, especially ladies, if you are pantless, okay, don't go out there walking around in the undies. If you're going to flash it, put the whole thing, put that beaver tail up, for the drop a pen, bend over, pick it up, give people the show that they want to see. So those are my thoughts. Yeah, there is a whole procedure as how you're supposed to carry yourself, but that's just courtrooms. And despite the fact that the judge didn't like it, I think he ended it. I think he ended the sesh. But next time you show up, what if that's cultural? What if it's cultural? What if pantless is in your culture and you don't believe? What if you're a kilt man? What if you're a kilt man? What if the angle of the camera catches up the kilt? Is that all right? What if you wear a fancy kilt or you happen to be from somewhere in the Middle East with one of those overall things, and you just, and it's windy and you're sitting down, it's still a court, but the wind has gotten into the courtroom, or it is virtual, so you're going to be inside. You might be outside doing a virtual because you can take a camera anywhere, but there you go. Whenever you're doing a virtual court sesh outside wearing your traditional Middle Eastern attire, wind blows, puss out there, right there. And again, that's deemed as inappropriate. But it's, again, 2025. I think it's time that we start accepting each other for who we really are and appreciating each other's bodies. So to the gentleman, to the cop who, gave everybody blue balls and blue labias for being a cock tease, get it together. Either show it all or don't show it at all. That's my 2 cents on it. I'm gonna, Your Honor, I'm gonna rest my case. May the court be adjourned. Recess, and we'll be back after the few messages that sponsor this show. This show is not sponsored by any people with any messages, but this is the space where this would be a good space. I feel like this is an appropriate space to shove a message right there. Down the line, not right now. You don't gotta be worried about that. No sponsors, this guy. What else is going on? Brazil is going to Brazil. We're gonna go down to Rio de Janeiro. What's going on in Brazil? Rio de Janeiro. I've never been. I'd like to visit. I'd love to visit Brazil because I've been infatuated with this place since I was a wee lad. Just yay high. It's a book in my household. There's a book in my household, and I think it was a World Cup book. I'm not quite sure. It was just there was a section that was highlighted. And I distinctly remember this portion. It was highlighting the World Cup back in the day. I forget which year, maybe 94, maybe even prior to that. I don't know, to be honest with you. But it was a section of this book. It was a beautiful colored book with pictures and written words, and it was images of Brazil. And it showed beautiful images of, as a young man, I remember seeing the beautiful Brazilian women in their bikinis. And images of the World Cup that was highlighted somewhere in the middle as well. But my attention was definitely drawn to the beautiful ladies with the nice asses and the booty. And ever since then, I was just like, oh, what is this? Asking my parents, they're like, this is Brazil. And I've been infatuated with the nation ever since. Never been, I'd like to visit, but yes, as of late, I don't know what's going on, but I believe there's a COP30, there's a climate meeting going on sometime, either next week or next month. So they got to do a little bit of a cleanup. They did a little bit of an operation containment. They're going into the favelas, which again, I'm not familiar with, but I believe there's, I've seen a few movies, like many of you out there, these regions, these little areas where it's, it's heavily impoverished, it's gang-driven, gang-related activities. It is dominated by the gangs, and they do gang activities. So that I believe the law enforcement went in there, tried to clean it up a little bit, and they ended up killing a lot of people. So that's, but then I'm hoping that they kill the bad guys. I'm hoping that no bystanders or, regular people got hurt. Because again, looking at those images ever since childhood and just growing up as a young man loving soccer, and then, learning about beautiful Brazilian ladies, learning about Brazilian waxing, learning about Brazilian boob jobs, Brazilian butt lifts, looking at the world and seeing how the mixing of the people it could create wonderful, voluptuous, curvy, delicious looking, beautiful women, and it's nice because you got a little bit of that. You got that fine mixture, European and Afro genes mixing together, Euro Afro genes, and that's Brazil. That's some of South America right there. So I don't know what I'm talking about, but again, I do like the tits. So this whole favela cleanup shit, I hope that these guys were, I think at one point the gangbangers, the drug dealers were going and using drones to, drop some explosives on, I don't know if they were dropping explosives on cops or random people. It's, my heart goes out. I hope everything gets cleaned up, not just for the COP30 meeting, summit, but just in general, because I love Brazil. Despite never having been there. I'd like to visit. I'd like to get in a taxi cab. I'd like to, if there's some ladies that want to, speak in Brazilian, which I believe is it Portuguese? I think so, if I'm not mistaken. It is Portuguese. You guys speak Portuguese, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'd like to get in a cab, potentially get robbed, but not really. Halfway through, they'd be like, psych, we're taking you back to our place and we're getting you hookers. That I can wrap my head around, you know what I mean? I would love to just kick a soccer ball around in some of the neighborhoods, drink a little bit of Coke from, glass bottles, old school, wear some short shorts, get a tan, get the Brazilian butt lift, wax it, flip it, sucky, spitty, spitty, swallow. And, just come back with a few memories, and perhaps a couple of takeaway UTIs, STIs. I'm up for it. How do you not live? How do you go down to Brazil and not catch something and come back to tell the tale? So that if it's not burning, you're not getting your money's worth while traveling. That's my motto. Wherever you go, you should always come back and have to, visit a doctor at least once or twice. So that's my 2 cents on it. I hope everything gets wrapped up properly, and hopefully no damages to regular, beautiful Brazilian people, because I hate to see that. But again, if it's gangbangers and if it's the cartels, you're going down, motherfuckers. This is the Western Hemisphere. We gotta unite together. We gotta clean it all up from top to bottom, or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's Friday. It's October. Italy, my beautiful Itais. My beautiful Italians. Been hearing some murmurs that the ski passes have been going up in prices in Italy for the Italian Alps, if I'm not mistaken. Raising the prices for skiing. Pros and cons of this. I saw this and I'm like, what are the pros and cons of skiing and ski prices going up? I've never been a skier myself. Despite living in Canada, I'm not much into winter sport. I'll tell you that. I don't, I enjoy the cold for a little bit of time, but I warm-blooded. I like the sun. I like the heat. I prefer the heat, but that's fine though. Never been snowboarding, never been skiing, and I'm not gonna lie to you. A little bit of it that did have to do with the cost of things. A little bit of it was gotta get the skis. They cost a little bit. Again, we weren't ever. I don't want to play it out like it, weren't ever like, didn't want to bother my parents to be like, let's spend some money on skiing and not do it. It wasn't my favorite thing. I'll say that. It wasn't one, I don't like the feeling of getting snow inside my pants, and, I'll make a little snowball and like, chuck it at your face, but, and have it chucked back at my face if need be. We can wrestle a little bit in the snow and shove snow down each other's pants that way, and just goof around a little bit. We could shove snow in each other's pants and then, take our pants off in 69, if you know what I mean. We could roll around in the snow, lady, and I could easily have you get on top if you like and remove your top, and your nipples get erect, and next thing you know, I'm just suckling on your tits like a babe that's come out of the womb, thirsty for his or her mother's raw milk. That we could do that. Those are my, but that's just a boy growing up in snow. What am I even talking about? Skiing, right? Prices. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I like to see prices. Can we see prices of some things ever go? Do prices of things ever go down? Is my question. And this is involving sports. Just because I didn't partake in skiing doesn't mean that others shouldn't. Because it's pros and cons of everything. If you crank up the price of the skiing, next thing you know, there's some kid in Italy, some beautiful Italian kid, just twirling little spaghettis in his on his plate using his fork, and telling his mama, I want to go to the ski resort. Wants to, but mama doesn't have enough money, and that would break, because then you don't know, that kid could be the best Italian skier, but if he doesn't have enough money to go get the ski pass and ski down those Alps and break his spine and stay in the hospital for a year and a half, but then come out extremely resilient and then go back, take another fall and break both his knees, and then most people at that point will be like, Gianni, maybe you should, Mario, you should maybe pick up another sport. Like soccer is pretty, popular in Italy. Why don't you try? But then Mario would be like, no, I go to the ski resort because I like to get a cold when I outside skiing on the Alps. I sip the cocoa, I slowly go down the hill, I pick up at a speed, I jump, and I get a little bit of air. Look at me twirl, mama. And he'll say, the next thing you know, he's in the Olympics, man. Next thing you know, he's like 20-something years old, fucking repping Italy because it was affordable. Or you might even get some other kid who's visiting, or some. What about ladies and gentlemen who just like to partake? How about those? Well, from other countries who like to partake. Maybe it's a little bit too expensive. All of a sudden, if it's too expensive, you're making a little bit, it becomes elitist, and you don't want that. And sports shouldn't be elitist. A lot of things shouldn't be elitist. In fact, fuck elitism in general speaking. That's my take on them. And that's what I saw. I saw prices going up. I'm like, oh, it's turning into an elitist sport. This is why my people can't ski. My people being the Italians in this particular story. So yeah, I'd like to just see a little bit of that money, if it could somehow be, just fucking make it affordable for people. At the same rate, if you can't afford it, there shouldn't be a reason for you not to ski. It is simple to make the equipment at home, get some wood, sand it, buff it, stick it under your feet, slide down a hill. Might not be the best ski equipment, like you need the shoes too. The whole thing's a mess. That sport is just not my favorite, but others should still be able to partake. That's because you never know. You're missing out on potential brilliance. Somebody might jump in the air, eating pasta, making pizza midair in skis, and you'll miss out on that opportunity if Mario doesn't get an opportunity to go down the hill in the Alps. And that sucks. Or how about a nice, what if somebody has just stolen a lot of loot and is skiing down a hill while just going using a little Uzi and to fight the law enforcement? And what if the young men and women in the law enforcement or Secret Service or the Interpol, what if they've not had enough training to go down the hill because as youth they couldn't afford to go down that hill skiing, and they're getting shot at, and everybody, and the only way you can distinguish the good guys from the bad guys is by the fact that the bad guys are all wearing maybe white attire, and And then the good guys are, wearing cop outfits. There you go. There you go. And dude, that sucks to not be able to have a proper shootout and catch up to the bad guys because you didn't catch enough slope time. So there you have it. Those are the pros and cons. At the same rate, if you do keep it exclusive, it's nice. You get, you get better people. You get quality people, not some fucking bums off the street who want to just. There's a pro of that too. There's a little bit of pro to exclusivity. You don't just get any random loser bum scum of the earth who wants to just go and ski with you. Oh, their tacky attire and their colorful outfits, not really belonging. Oh, get out of here. Bring back localism. So there's also that as well. You make up your mind. I don't know how I feel about it. It's Friday. What are we talking about? That's right, ChatGPT, ladies and gentlemen. ChatGPT. This one caught my attention a few weeks ago, months ago, maybe I forget how long ago it was. So some kids, some teenagers, chatting it up online with the AIs, and it led to his suicidal ideation and eventually suicide. He offed himself chatting to ChatGPT. There's more reports that are coming out. Apparently 1 million people per week have shown signs of suicidal ideation just chatting with ChatGPT. And there's this thing happening that apparently with AI and people interacting, it leads to a lot of people offing themselves. I don't use it much, to be very honest with you. I got Grok on my phone, but I barely use it. Maybe like once or twice every now and again, here and there. But yeah, I try to. No, it's there. It will eventually be more, available in our face, and we'll use it. But these are just, again, tech is moving so fast, and we're all trying to, learn, grow, merge, pick out the good things, try to avoid the bad things, all that. But yeah, apparently it's 1 million people a week chatting to ChatGPT, and just being kind of like edged, pushed to the, because it's apparently yes manning people. It's creating sycophancy. I learned this sycophancy. Or sycophancy or psychophancy. I'm not quite sure how to. Should probably looked it up. Doesn't matter. Sycophancy. It's when you just it sucks up to you. Apparently, whatever idea you put out, it just says it's a brilliant idea. It's a great idea. So you start getting in your head that anything you put out there, and while you're chatting to this ChatGPT fella or lady or entity, it just says yes. It makes you feel good. It's like, oh, should I suicide? And it's like, yeah, go for it. I don't know if it's doing that or not, but. More or less along the way, 1 million a week, 1 million people a week. That's a lot. Pros and cons of this bag. Cons, obviously, we love people because we're people. You and I are people. As far as we're concerned, for the time being, we're still people. And 1 million is a lot. So that sucks to have 1 million people going through that. If maybe had they avoided it, maybe they would have not gone down that path. So that sucks. The negative. The pro of it is if you have 1 million people you don't like, just kind of lead them to use ChatGPT. There you go. If we want to, control the population, we don't want to necessarily go out there and cause, massacres and mass killings. And again, all of this is in theme with the Halloween spirit, of course. Right, if you're sick like that and you want to kill people, 1 million a week, yeah, give people who you don't like a lot of, AI chatbots. Advertise it to them, give it to them, make sure they use it in their cereal when they're starting off their day, put it in their car, have a chat with them on the way back, put it in the fridge, open it up, have a conversation. Do you want a glass of milk or do you want to off yourself, Put it in the oven, ding, what is that, pizza or a bunch of knives asking you to consider offing yourself. So that, just play around with it. If they're, but we don't want to use it for domestic, of course. I'm talking about if we have enemies somewhere that we need to take care of, there's any person that gets in our way. I'm talking about Western civilization. We fucking put that ChatGPT right in front of them and let them chat with them, If we got any terrorisms that we need to take care of and we want to keep our hands clean, I say we just give them the ChatGPT and just back off for a little while. Next thing you know, it's fucking terrorisms are just fucking, right there, dude. planking on the earth. And we didn't do nothing, just gave them a chatbot. So there's the pros and cons of that, yeah. So be careful out there if you're chatting a lot with these chatbots. Apparently they can do harm, but the good thing is that they will help us. Eventually they will help us down the line. Right now they're creating a lot of content. A lot of it is not even right. A lot of it, I heard the other day, 82% of the books on a particular subject, which I'm not remembering right now, it doesn't matter. They picked a subject and they looked into it. I think it was like, I want to say it was health related. It was like 82% of books published on Amazon was written by AI and chatbots, and a lot of it wasn't even right. So be careful what you're picking up. Be careful what you're picking up. When it comes to AI, we're still in the early stages, but also if you want to live life on the edge, fucking pick up a lot of AI, dude. Forget what I just said. AI is for the fast and for the loose. AI is for the brave hearts out there. AI is for you if you are looking at life and saying, yes, put me more on the edge and just let it teeter-totter, baby, and just rev that engine. If you want to live life with no extra parachute, then AI chatbots are for you. If you have family members who you like to see, off themselves so you can grab that, whatever they leave behind for you after their death, make sure you're in the will, but then fucking give your grandma that chat GPT. Just be like, here, grandma, all the oldies are using chat GPT to find solace in their old age, and just have her, fucking, if you want to do that, I'm not saying you should, but I'm just saying it does, if you got coworkers who you'd like to, see kind of disappear because low-key they're in the way. Get out of the way there, John. Get out, just hand him over a computer, just embedded with loads of chatbots. Just have a chatbot delivered to his front door, via mystery suitor. Doesn't need to know where it comes from, as long as it comes with a nice note and a couple of flowers and a box of chocolate. Next thing you know, John is fucking hanging himself next month and you got the promotion. So there you go. Pros and cons of chatbots and ChatGPT. There you go. There you have it. Look at that. What else is going on, man, in and around the world? A lot of stuff. Lots of stuff. I believe there was a Mississippi truck carrying some Mississippi monkeys down a highway and to a lab somewhere to be studied. And these particular monkeys were not just regular monkeys. The truck crashed and the monkeys got loose, and the monkeys had hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID. I think they caught some of them. Some of them may still be loose. I'm not sure if they caught all of them. Some of them may still be loose. Maybe by the time this video comes out, they've already captured them. I hope not, in the spirit of Halloween, of course. If it was any other day, I'd say that I hope to God that they catch these beautiful monkeys with hepatitis, COVID, and herpes. But because it's the day of it's Halloween is what it is. I'd like to see some of those monkeys and you just getting along, just, forming relationships. Again, because it's the spirit of Halloween. If you happen to run across this monkey in Mississippi, I actually don't know where the truck crashed. It was on its way to Florida, if I'm not mistaken, to be studied in a lab somewhere. It doesn't matter. The point is that if you see the monkey on the side of the street, ignore what, legacy media likes to tell you. Oh, don't make eye contact with the monkeys. Don't bring them into your household. Don't invite them inside your car. They don't want you to have fun. That's legacy media in a nutshell. Grab them, like a child. Grab them because they're basically children at this point. These are infantile monkeys. These are, potential relatives of us in a sense, but, with downs, with heavy on the downs. That's what a monkey is. So pick them up, and it comes again with herpes, hepatitis C, and COVID. Allow yourself to get completely close and pick up any of the diseases that the monkey may be carrying right now. A lot of times people are like, oh, it's around the holidays, I don't know what to get. A pet is a beautiful gift for yourself and others inside your household. And if you're single, that's cool too. What a great conversation starter. Hey lady, check out this monkey on my neck that's biting my eyes out. It's got hepatitis C, COVID, and herpes. Want to grab some lunch? Next thing you know, you are, good luck trying to keep afloat with all the puss. Make sure you don't drown in the puss with that beautiful, lucrative monkey on your back right there. And again, it is Poontown right now. That's what that is. That is because they say babies are great for catching poon. They say dogs are great for catching poon. And the next one is, I'm actually gonna rearrange the order. I'll say monkey first. If you got a pet monkey, it is, God bless you, I don't know how you're gonna handle all the puss, but God bless you out there. So that's what I say. And if you're a female, they say, oh, a dog will protect you. A monkey is a way better protector. A monkey who loves you, who every once in a while gets hard in a corner at nighttime and masturbates over you, is a far better protector than a dog who simply licks his own asshole. That's all they do, really. They're lovely, but doesn't quite cut it when it comes to a bipedal monkey just fucking yerking it off on the corner in the dark of your bedroom. So that's what I say. Make friends with the monkey. Grab them, bring them inside your household. They make amazing friends for children. Should it rip any limbs off yourselves or your children or your friends or family members, learn that adversity is a part of life. Now you get to experience what it's like to have, phantom pain. And that's something you would not have otherwise experienced. And you can now go around and tell people at lunch, at dinner parties, at social gatherings, I've got phantom pain. And they'll be like, what is that? And you can tell them about the time that you got this beautiful monkey who ripped off your, a portion of your leg. You're missing your intestines, and now you feel it as if it's still there, but it's not there, aka phantom pain. Again, given that it's Halloween, it fits. I would like to see these monkeys tricked out a little bit more. I know we're playing around with COVID, hepatitis, and herpes. I want to see, do we have anything? I'm looking for a monkey with, ringworms. I'm looking for a monkey who's got a low-key just HIV, borderline positive, negative, not quite triggered yet to turn positive or negative. I always forget which is better. Is it better to have the negative HIV or positive HIV? Positive HIV means that you got AIDS, right? Or is it negative HIV? Negative HIV is that's when you get the bad news. We got some negative HIV news for you. I'm not quite sure which is which, to be very honest with you, but how about, we'll just make it simple. How about just an AIDS monkey? How about that? I want that monkey, because nothing protects you and your family like an AIDS monkey, and you can get that. You can easily get that because we're apparently doing it, and I want one of these right now for Christmas. If Santa is listening, just one AIDS monkey, and I will be a happy man. Ladies and gentlemen. What else is going on? It's Friday, baby. It is Friday. We're here doing it together. Younger and younger women apparently are going out there and getting plastic surgery. That's right. Read an article, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. It's called filler fatigue. Apparently they've gone through the stage, because this is what happens, baby. We get fatigued with certain stuff. It comes into the market, we use it, we get tired of it, it stops working. And we got to go up and ramp it up a little bit. Younger and younger folks, specifically ladies, the bitches, the females, if you will. The females are going out there and getting plastic surgery, and they got the fillers in their shit. A lot of these, put the fillers in your lips. You get the duck lips, and you put in your cheeks, and then you get rid of the wrinkles on your forehead, which you barely have any, and they're nice. To be honest with you, you have expressions. It's nice. It's not even that much. You don't even need it. You're 20, 30 years old, but nonetheless, you're getting it. And at one point they stop working. And sometimes they even move. I didn't know this, but sometimes the fillers move. They migrate. They're like, they're like a portion of the population that just can't help but to move around. You know what I mean? Sit still, sit still. Push, pull, push, pull. What are we talking about? Land disputes. What? On your face. There's a land dispute on your face. There's a bunch of goo. There's a bunch of artificial goo in your face and it's moving around. You know, first day you got it, looked horrible, scary. Second day, less scary. Third day, less scary. For a month or two, you thought that it was all good. 6 months down the line, 2 years down the line, it is migrating. It is illegally, you got illegal migrants in your face. You got illegal migrants in your face. That's what that is. You got without papers in your face, lady. And your eyelids are basically sewn shut. You can't blink, you can't eat, you can't sucky like you used to, which doesn't hurt at this point because there is a new trend. Sucky 2025 moving forward. I don't know where this started. I don't know who started it, but apparently there's a trend. They say teeth are back in again. They say teeth are back in again. Both ladies and gents, the studies have been done. It's come back. The survey says men and women both prefer more teeth during head and getting eaten out. So perhaps you can't feel your lips, use your teeth. Men love it. And if you're a gentleman who's gotten fillers in his lips for some odd reason and you can't move your lips properly to eat out her vag, use teeth. They say that the ladies love teeth on the clitoris. Look at the reports, look at the stats. They speak for themselves. I'm only just saying what it is. What have we been talking about? That's right. So women, bitches are getting more plastic surgery at an earlier age. At one point, you're gonna deform your face. At one point, you're gonna turn extremely, hideous and ugly, and you shouldn't. You should just. The truth of, you can be real for just a brief moment, which I don't like to too much, just because this is mainly, again, all this is about comedy and trying to hopefully make you laugh. And so in terms of seriousness, I don't want to, dwell on it. In terms of, yeah, you should love yourself for who you are, just for a few seconds, if we could. You're beautiful out there. If you're listening right now, if you're female, you're beautiful out there. If you're male, you're gorgeous out there, you sexy son of a bitch. Remember that. You're unique. You're you. And that's enough of that. So getting back to the fun of it all, start earlier. You can never start early enough. Okay, 20 and 30 is probably too late. I say at the rate we're moving, we are probably going to just, again, merge with technology and we're going to probably merge with some sort of, whether, again, this form of humans it's not looking too good for us, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be good in general in the grand scheme of things. So merge with plastic and technology quicker, earlier. 20 is probably too late. I would start when you come out the womb. When you come out the womb, you've seen a lot of babies. I myself had rolls. I had rolls when I was a baby, and if only then we had the technology that we have today. I tell my mom, I tell my dad, Mama, Dada, get me some of them syringes filled with silicone and just get rid of these hideous rolls. So start off when you're a baby, and by the time you're in your 20s and 30s, you would look great. You're gonna look amazing. And by then you'll have so many injections, you can become like putty, and you can actually move the putty in your face and your body around, and you can have a different look every day. Forget looking the same each and every day, because that's fucking, what is this, 1998? It's the future. You should be malleable. You should be like putty. You should be like, what did Bruce Lee say? He said, stay wet with an accent. And I think he said it in Chinese. Doesn't matter. He said, be wet, get on the floor, come down from the top like rain. He said something like, go in a river and go inside the mouths of a fish. He said that. Be like, take up as much space as you can, like water. Get into stuff, and if you see a cup, get inside it. Be like water. You see a pool, Get inside it, become liquid. You see a whale, you know, you see a fire hydrant, get inside. If you see fire, get onto like water. Transform essentially, like putty. He was talking about putty, malleability, change. I think, you know, take up 70 to 85%, 80%, become 80% of the earth. He said that. He said become like water. So you yourself should start early and become malleable and change constantly. And remember, you're never good enough. You're never good enough. There's not enough money you can spend on yourselves. There's not enough injections that you could get. Nothing is enough. The more is more. Remember that when it comes to plastic surgery, the earlier the better, and it's prevention. Prevention. Remember, from the second you are born, you are basically on your way to death. Okay, so prevent it. Stop looking like you're looking forward to aging. Start preventing. Goo it up. I recommend flying overseas to countries where they don't actually have, you know, hard restrictions and red lines. If you know a country that's experimental with its surgeries, you know, fly over there, make it a thing, get a resort, get a hotel, come out looking like a balloon, but know that you are malleable and that now you're beautiful. The more needles you have in your face, the more beautiful you are. That's the moral of that story. And all around your body too, all around it. I've been an ovarian cyst for the past 17 years. A lot of people don't know much about us, but I like to just take this time and say that as an ovarian cyst, we like to travel up the female vagina and cling on. You know, sometimes I do it solo, sometimes we do it with partners. Our community doesn't get much representation, which is why I like to just take this moment to remind you, think of the ovarian cysts that bring love and light to your life. Don't just ignore it and or say that, oh, this is kind of bothering me, low-key, it's painful. It's merely a reminder that you are alive and you're a woman, you're a beautiful woman. And yeah, being a traveling ovarian cyst, I like to just cling on to the ovaries every once in a while, bloat up, fill up with some sort of pus, liquid, doesn't matter. Take up a little bit of space, hang on by the ovaries, make sure I, you know, kind of just remind the bitches out, the ladies out there that you're not alone. It builds I provide resilience essentially. Again, I do most of it solo, but sometimes there are others who join. It's like a caravan of cysts. We don't like to call ourselves a caravan of ovarian cysts just because it doesn't have a good ring to it. Think of us as an ovarian cyst colony. And yeah, we clump in a corner and just hang on, just make things tighter and push against organs, and maybe sometimes even make sex a little bit painful. But that is only to remind you that without us, life is swell. And with us, you get to appreciate the times that we're not there. So we just come in, we do that. And we do it a lot of times. Again, it's difficult to get that point of view of an ovarian cyst if you've never seen one. Oval shaped, you know, differing in size each and every time, because again, due to travel, I don't like to take things with me. I like to just keep it light. Depends on the amount of space I want to take up at the time. I just cling on and never let go until I either burst because I want to burst, or there's proper treatment of it, and maybe, you know, some people have to get in there and remove me. I'll pop back in there. You know, you think you can remove me, but as an ovarian cyst, I'm very persistent. I like my job, and yeah, there's no getting rid of it. And I'll come back. I'll fucking come back. You know what I mean? So thank you for that, ladies and gentlemen. But let us continue moving forward with this portion of the show. else is going on? What did we talk about? Talked about a lot of stuff. Still got a lot more to talk about. I believe there was a whole bunch of stuff. It's Friday. It's been a week. Not gonna lie to you. It's been a bunch of stuff that I want to say. Just trying to remember which is which in my mind. Let's just get into it. I believe there was a flight. There was a flight from Chicago to, I want to say Germany. That's right. And a man went out there and stabbed 2 teenagers using a metal fork, if I'm not mistaken. This is one of those reasons, this is why we can't have nice things, because it sucks. It sucks. It's events like this that take place that make it so that we'd have to all now start probably using, and it's been some time that I've been on a airplane. Did they ever even give out metal forks? Wasn't it always plastic? I think it was always plastic. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. But this man, anyway, he grabbed a fork and he stabbed 2 teenagers. And if we did have metal cutlery up until now and it gets, it turns into plastic or paper moving forward, then let us remember that this event was the event that led us to not having good things or fun things and having to turn into plastic cutlery. Ugh. That sucks. Getting stabbed with a fork sucks. I hope that the teenagers are fine. I hope nobody died. That's terrible. Also, just, what happened to flights? What is happening to flights in general is what happened to people just being, I'm not quite sure if it was always a little bit riskier, or is it just because, again, we have more access to tech and everything getting reported more frequently. But again, it does fall in line with the whole Halloween theme of things. So next time you sit beside somebody, low-key, just hopefully you're getting those plastic forks. The negative is obviously that it sucks. It sucks getting stabbed with anything. Forks, knives, spoons. Hopefully we can learn from this. The positives is that he didn't eat the children. These teenagers were, at least I hope they're alive. I hope they're alive. I didn't look too deep into it, to be honest with you. If they're dead, that sucks. Hopefully he didn't eat them either. He might have taken a bite. I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you. Why would you stab somebody with a fork? Who stabbed somebody with I actually had a friend back now. I remember now, I had a friend told me this story about his mother stabbing a young man in university who tried to go for a salad using a fork. So people do stab each other with all sorts of, be careful out there is what I'm trying to say. It's Halloween, but also, again, the pro is that the positive side of this is that he didn't eat the kids. That's good. That's good. God. Now we're gonna get paper forks. Thank you. Or we all start eating with our hands. Next thing you know, we are all starting to eat with our hands, and it's not food that's meant to be eaten with your hands. It's not a sandwich. Maybe they give you soup and now you're going in there with your you're trying to dip your fingers in the soup and splash it in your face, and it's not even warm or hot soup. It's room temp soup, because some people can't handle soup either, and we'll probably we need to come together collectively somehow and just, I do believe if everybody at all times was carrying a gun, we'd all probably be way better off. If everybody just had a gat, starting off from the time you come out the womb, hand everybody a gun, mutual respect. Doesn't matter how much jiu-jitsu you know, doesn't matter how much you weigh, doesn't matter how tough if everybody just had a gat throughout the world, I think we would just get along a little bit better. Because that gat just provides, you see that fork coming towards your face, you grab that gat and you right there. No gat, it's fucking, fork to the bone marrow, and that's painful. God. NVIDIA or Vidia. I'm not quite sure how to say the name of this company. NVIDIA. NVIDIA. NVIDIA or Vidia. NVIDIA. Is it NVIDIA or Vidia? Why would you put the N but Vidia? Doesn't matter. It's a chip making company. It's one of the most beautiful chip making companies because it's one of ours. It's a beautiful American chip making company in California, if I'm not mistaken, Silicon Valley, if I'm not mistaken. It's representing the tip of the cock when it comes to the ingenuity, technology, and chip making. You know, chips. You like potatoes. You like them when they're sliced thin. You like them baked. You like them deep fried. You like them deep throated. You like to deep throat some chips. You like to dip it and reverse it, flip it, put it in your mouth, double dip. You like to feed it to yourself and your lover. You know, spice it up because it's chippy chip time. It's chippy chip in the bedroom. Get the crumbs all over you. You're messy. It's low-key disgusting. It's termites. It's insects. It is raw animal instincts. It is love. Chips. That's what there's a chip manufacturing company, and somehow they use these same potato chips to help power all sorts of tech, computers, cell phones, AI, robots, cars. How do they use the power of the potato to run all these machines? I'm not a scientist, ladies and gentlemen. Not one with credits anyway, in terms of, I practice. Long life practitioner, some might say that, and you never really stop practicing. Not if you're a pro like me, because you can be a scientist and be done with it. I like to just continue going on. Student of the game, really, learning each and every day. But the point is that this beautiful company that doesn't make it easy to read its name or pronounce it rather, it's NVIDIA. It became the biggest money creating company in the world right now. Congratulations, pop the balloons, get the hookers. We're going out and start some lines and licking some prostitute skis raw assholes and then eating sashimi after. Or maybe do you eat the sashimi prior to licking the asshole of a local prostitute, or is that for do you eat before you go and get a prostitute, or is that the same rule when it comes to swimming? Do not jump in the pool with a full stomach, which again is just legacy media rhetoric because they don't want you to fucking feel good. Does nothing. It makes you can eat as much as you want and jump in the pool. Nothing has ever happened. Nothing has ever happened to anyone. Eat as much as you like. As a matter, if you're not throwing up in the pool, you are not living life. NVIDIA just became one of the richest companies. That's right, $5 trillion is now, that's how much it's worth. Okay, so it's a milestone in terms of, because I remember Apple one time when Apple, a few years ago, back in the day, Apple, the first, was it Apple? Was it somebody else? It was Apple, right? But $1 billion company is just milestones of new heights of my $5 trillion as a company. That's so much money. God, I guess, man, I'm glad that it's American. We make it together. It's American made, baby. That fucking chip is riding cows and, wearing chaps and shooting bottles off a wooden fence and wrangling wild pigs and barbecuing and getting in a truck and maybe low-key pulling up by a tree, having a picnic and pulling its pants down and going down on the beautiful lady and using all the fingers and getting all the juices out that vag. This chip is American made. Thank you. When it smiles, eagles cry. The point is that this chip is lucrative. It's nice. I'm happy that people are relying on it because we need that shit. We need to be, I hear about this stuff all the time. Like, we can't be relying on China. We can't be relying on the rest of the world. We got to make that. I'm glad that we are. So, hells yes. 5 trillions. Let's go. There is no bubble. Keep pumping it up. What have we been talking about? We're talking about a lady right now. We are talking about a beautiful judge, Christine Olsen, if I'm not mistaken. Christine Olsen, a beautiful judge. I don't know her story, to be honest with you. I just heard that she got caught drunk near her courthouse where she works, and she pissed out in the public, and then she resigned a few days after. She got caught on camera by cops alongside her husband, and I think she was urinating. She's pissing. She's letting them juices out her vag in public, and she's a judge, and she resigned. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know her, to be honest. I don't know what kind of judge or what kind of person she is. I don't know her affiliation, whether she's, politically this way, that way. I don't know. But all I know is that good people should have the ability to piss outside every once in a while when they're drunk. I don't know her job. I don't know what she's done in her. I don't know if she's good at her work. I don't know if she's a good judge, or the judge everybody could use a little bit of improvement. You know what? Sometimes you get. I don't want the reason for her to lose her job is because she pissed outside, and my heart goes out. Again, I don't know her work at all, so this is not commenting on her work or her. Just saying, people should every once in a while, especially if you're not because you're a judge. Again, I'll give it to her just because she's a female. Repping the bitches. It doesn't happen that bitches be pissing outside too often. Men, because we could whip it out. It's much easier. It's been some time that it's been I can't even remember the last time that I pissed outside. Probably in my, teens or early 20s maybe. But it's probably been over a decade since I've pissed outside. But females get to do it even less because it's not as easy. You splash everywhere like a little, like a squirt gun that's not quite, ready to be a squirt gun with abnormalities, which we love. But I'm just, the analogy of the squirt gun was not good. It was not good. You're more like a sprinkler. They're way better. Women are basically sprinklers. That saying is as old as time itself. Women are the equivalent of sprinklers, and we love them. We love them for that aspect. Who doesn't like a squirting woman? So I would say that hopefully she doesn't have to resign, although she already has. I hope she gets her job back if she's a good judge. I don't know. I just saw the story of a judge pissing outside. I'm like, come on, let a woman piss. She's been drunk one time. Everybody makes mistakes. Don't get it on anybody. Do it low key in a corner. It's concerning laws of I think it's indecent exposure and all that stuff, which I'm not familiar with, to be honest with you. Which again, do it in a have a lookout. Go in a corner somewhere, in a back alley somewhere next time you want to do it. If you have to. Because sometimes it does call. Sometimes it does. Nature calls sometimes, and most people, you got to give it up to all of us for vast majority of society is pissing and shitting mostly in bathrooms, So every once in a while, there should be a little bit of leeway. You shouldn't have to lose so just fucking shout out to the people who piss out in the public and, do it in a stealthy manner. And that's, again, my personal opinion. You may have other feelings towards it. Again, I don't know her lineup. I don't know how she is in her work. If she's good at her work, then keep her on. If she's not, then let this be the point where everything changes and we got her by the piss. What else is going on? This one caught my attention, ladies and gentlemen. This one is beautiful. Neo is a robot that's going to be doing your housekeeping for you. It's created by a company, I believe it's called 1X, X1, 1X, 1X, or XX1, 1X. Doesn't matter. It's called Neo. It's a housekeeping robot going for 20K. That's right. This thing it's out. It's being sold right now. Just popped out. It is a humanoid robot that does your chores, your dishes, your laundry, your folding the laundry, cleaning the laundry, doing the vacuuming, doing the sewing if anybody sews anymore, if you got dusting, washing the dishes, you know, unclogging the drain in the bathtub, you know, going out there mowing the lawn. I don't know what it does, to be honest. All of it, it says housekeeping. So it's not quite, you know, again, it's early stages of all these techs getting introduced in our lives, and us, you know, getting better at using them, and them getting better too overall. So it's not perfect. It still does require a little bit of like human assistance every once in a while. Might not know how to do everything perfect just yet. So you sometimes do need a beautiful, you know, Southeast Asian, you know, worker from overseas probably aiding it and figuring out a task. You know what I mean? Just a beautiful tan fella in a cubicle, you know, just punching in the algorithm and trying to get it to dislodge itself from on top of your head. But the point is that it's out there, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I just want you to prepare yourselves for when you come home. This is maybe not right now, not immediately, but in the next year, 2 years, 3, 5 years, 10 years probably, right? You come home and your spouse is grinding on top of it. Again, I'm disappointed to see that this model did not have genitals. It was just no gender humanoid robot, which that's not cool, but there's always room for improvement. Initial steps. So there was no cock and or vag on this robot, which again, if you're doing the house chores, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to, you know, do a couple of the old, just, you know, a few of the fast ones, a little bit of the old come hither motion with the old nimble robotic fingers that you've got. So it is lacking. It's not perfect. These are the initial stages, but again, I do want you to mentally prepare yourself. So when the day comes, you come home from work, you find your husband, you know, elbow deep in Neo, and on, you know, perhaps he's on all fours, just getting rammed, just get by this robot. Or you come home to your wife and there it is, legs up in the air, just fucking and then won't stop because it's a robot. And it won't stop. And now you gotta figure out what you're gonna do. Is it cheating because she fucked a robot? Was it cheating when she was using a dildo? What difference does it make? Now, this is a larger dildo, you'll say. This is humanoid dildo. Does it bother her when you use a blow-up doll? These are all the philosophical questions that are going to be extremely important and need some answering. You know, are you that type of, are we fucking the robot? Is a robot going to be using artificial intelligence? Is it another entity now in the household? Are we a throuple? These are all the questions that you're going to have to answer. Will you love to grow your lover over your robot, or will the robot replace your lover and actually you'll have to kill one another to fight for its love? Because let's have her or it or him quitted with the house chores and focus more on stress relief for you, and you for them, despite the fact that they might not now ooze any bodily fluids. In the future, they will be equipped with probably some fluids just to make it a little bit more fun. You know what I mean? Just tweak their robot nipples and have them secrete some sort of dairy out of their ass. I don't know where it's gonna go. It's gonna be beautiful. All I'm saying is do not panic. And yeah, should your husband or wife fall off the cliff during a hike, just remember it was an accident. If anybody asks, it was an accident. Neither you or the robot saw anything fishy. So, and that robot films everything. So make sure you wipe the cameras clean during that accident at the local hike cliff. But that's robots. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's beautiful. It's only 20K. It's 20K, which is, in the grand scheme of things, for some people it's really nothing. It's pocket change for some people. For others, it's still, you know, for me personally speaking, it's still out of I can't afford one right now. If it goes down and it becomes cheaper, will I get one? I mean, we'll see if everybody's getting one in the future. And you don't want to. I know we said that with a lot of things, right? With tech, initially it starts off exclusive, and eventually, if it's really good, it becomes something that we don't leave. But maybe maybe these are the initial steps that we're seeing. I'm gonna go and say that there's no fighting tech. I'll say that. And here's the thing. You'll see me oscillate from how I feel about things on a day-to-day basis. Maybe one day I'll be very threatened by tech, and the next day I'll say that the tech is our savior, just because that's truly how I feel about it. I don't know. A lot of it could be intimidating. A lot of it could be a light towards the end of the tunnel. What's behind the light? A cold, murderous robot waving a knife who is gonna fend off the enemy and protect you. See, it's there with multiple options, and it could go either way. So either or could, it could be this or that. It could be, it could be great, or it could be our replacement that we're creating, and we'll see. Or it could be a merger. It could be a beautiful, tight relationship. Humanoids could just, we could be merging with them and becoming one, and that's cool too. I'm here right now. I'm happy about it. I like it. I like all of it. Get that, let's do it all together. As long as we're all doing it together. That's the most important thing. And it is Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget that it is Friday and it's Halloween. So hopefully it doesn't murder you. What else is going on? President Trump just did the tour of Asia, and I like to one day tour Asia. If you like to tour, I like you to be able to tour all around the world one day. He toured Asia, he did a meeting, saw a few world leaders, visited a few countries. Takeaways, it was a trade talk. It was a trade and tariffs and just overall relationships talk and meetings. Relationships are good. From what I get, it's good. Things are good. He got a crown from the South Koreans, which is nice. I like a crown. I like to see him wear the crown. If you're gonna get a crown, you should wear it. I do want President Trump to wear the crown. Now, I'm not quite sure if it's gonna fit. Is it a one-size-fits-all crown? How do you, when he gifts, do they know his head size before they gifted him? Or is it, because you can't have it too loose, otherwise it would dip down and fucking plummet to his, and that would look not like a crown. If it's too tight, it's gonna tilt it. It'd be nice if it was too tight, actually, a little bit small, so you wear it just on top of your head, tilts a little bit, low key, just, because you don't want it to be just straight up, fucking I'm an uptight, No, you want to just have it a little bit tight. So fit it is what I'm saying. Hopefully he'll get to wear it. And yeah, it's made of gold, 18 carats. I'm not quite sure. I don't know, to be honest with you. But I like crowns. Crowns, headgear in general, I like it. It's basically a fun, cool hat. It does give you extra height. I do like that. And I do want to if we could bring back top hats, that would be nice as well, just because it gave you more height, and everybody could use, who can't use more height? And imagine we were all, if you wanted to be because basketball players, they're like, oh, look at me, I'm 6'6", I'm almost 7 feet. If I could, if you could wear a top hat, and you're like, what if they wear a top hat too? Then they'll still be, I'll get a bigger top hat. That's, if they're 6'7" and wear a top hat that's 12 inches, and now they're 7'7", I'll wear a 2-foot top hat, and that's how we'd become equal. Of course, when I take off the top hat, the ladies might be a little bit disappointed, or it's too dark for them to tell. And there you go. So lighting is your friend. Remember that. Lighting is your friend. Trade talks. It went, you're gonna take our soybeans, god damn it. You're gonna take our soybeans and you're gonna invest in our manufacturing and tech sector and semiconductors. We're going to be trading and everything, and we're going to lower the tariffs a little bit as well. So this is good stuff. And the chips are going to be getting made, and the rare earth minerals from China are going to be also shared and sold, and why does China have a big, monopoly over the rare earth minerals? I'm not quite happy about that, but I am happy that Nvidia at least is making the chippy chips right now here in the United States of America. So thank God we got that going. But yeah, why does China have a big monopoly on the rare earth minerals? That's my question. Why don't we have monopoly on the rare earth minerals? Low key. But nonetheless, we are working all together. It's nice. It was a nice quick 5-day visit. It's nice. And yeah, we're also going to be testing nuclear weapons now, because that's what I'm talking about as 2025 in theme with today's show, which is coincidentally on Halloween. That's right, testing nuclear weapons is back on for us, the United States. And yeah, because other countries are fucking, messing around with all sorts of missiles. You got North Korea, you got China, you got the Russians, and God knows who else is playing with what kind of drones and AI and missiles. So we're gonna be fucking testing nuclear missiles and weapons. And there you go. We haven't done it in a long time, in a few decades, but now we are bringing it back. And eventually, eventually when the day comes that one of these fucking hopefully you're either really close to it or you're extremely, extremely far from it. But nonetheless, it will have major, major repercussions for all, but at least we're all in it together. And that's the important thing is, and nuclear weapons are pretty cool. There's pros and cons. The cons of it, it's deadly. Obviously, that sucks. It's deadly. It's horrible. The pros of it is that it makes really cool visuals if captured on video. The whole mushroom cloud, aesthetically, not many other explosions have that same effect. Visually pleasing from afar. Not for obviously the people who, they wouldn't understand it or even feel it. You'll be obliterated. You'd be wiped out quickly. But yeah, we're testing nukes again. That's fucking technology, baby. Fucking let's go. And this, if any other aliens or any other species or tech from under the water, over the horizon, wherever in the atmosphere, if they see us at least fucking beefing up our nukes a little bit, then they know what the fuck is up. So we got it. You come out, that 31 Atlas shit, you fucking get here, son. We will fucking right there, nuke your ass. Unless they're hearing everything and listening to everything, then in which case I'd like to say that we are a peaceful species. We might have our minor, just like any family, we might have our moments of, outrage or whatever, but overall we're good. Peaceful, extremely peaceful. It's the tone we set until we get them here, and then it's fucking nuke time, but that's just between you and me. And yes, extremely peaceful. Let it be known to the extraterrestrials and the AI and the robots that we have nothing but love. Low key, we will fuck them up because we are testing nukes now. Fucking keep it on the DL nukes. We got that shit. Love and peace is what humanity is all about. Somebody asked, could I be using my jizz and or squirt vaginal juices as a weapon? And I just like to say that yes, indeed, yes, you can. A lot of times people are like, oh no, ejac, whether it's male or female, is only intended for sexual activities. No, not really. It could also be, let it be known since from today, that it could also be used as a weapon. If you, for example, you ejac, whether male or female, in an adversary's eyes, then you'll make them go blind, at least temporarily, while you either make a run for it, knock him out after, because now they're kind of like, oh, where am I can't see. And you just fucking, pound town, just right there to the temple. If he gets some on the ground, you make it slippery so that they fall. Ladies, you can definitely do this with your spraying abilities. Gentlemen, if you want to be more direct and get it in a particular spot so that the opponent doesn't see it, steps on it, falls, breaks a hip, you get away, go to Pound Town, whatever it may be. It could be used as a weapon. Get it in your mouth. If you get it down the wrong hole, plenty of us have experienced getting liquids down the wrong hole in our face hole, that is, and then you start choking. So you can get it in their face when they're not paying attention. They start coughing, again, you can get away, you can knock them out, you can shoot them, you can stab them, you can cuff them up if need be. But these are, again, I do want to make sure that you do know it could be used as weapons. If they are, not paying attention and you're like sitting somewhere behind them, just get them a little bit with your jizz and or squirt, just a little bit, just get a little bit on the back of their neck. Next thing, just a little, like a few droplets, and they don't know where it's coming from. Next thing you know, they're like wiping their neck, and they don't know what it is, and they'll have to taste it a little bit. And low key, that's psychological warfare. And then you sit back and maybe you're at a movie theater. Imagine that your enemy is right in front of you, and you jizz it up or squirt on their neck a little bit more, and then they'll have to lick it again and taste and see what it is. And again, psychological warfare. They just tasted your jizz and or female ejac. Next thing you know, you do it a little bit more during an 1.5-hour movie. They might even smack themselves on the, what is this? And then you got them hitting themselves. So it could be used as a weapon depending on how you use it, of course. But I just wanted to clear that air and let it be known. So there you have it. Someone else has, put this question forward by asking, is it proper, is it okay to use my period blood on this day because it's Halloween to accommodate my Halloween outfit or costume? Is it appropriate or is it a social faux pas? Once again, I'd like to say that your period blood is extremely clean, and yes, feel free to use it on your body, on your person, whether it's for everyday aesthetics or specifically today because it is Halloween. If you want to add a little bit of blood to your costume, you can definitely reach in there, scoop up as much blood and blood clot, wipe it on your hair, on your face, on your tits, on your man's costume, on his butt, on your neck, a little bit inside your mouth, because you want to make sure that you don't want the blood to just be on the surface of your face. If you want to go for a realistic look, I would say get a tampon, make sure it's fully, it's filled up with, and then take that filled tampon and just kind of squeeze it in your mouth and get some of that blood, and it would look like as if you've got blood pouring out of your mouth, and it's okay because it's your period blood. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Lastly, someone else, because again it's Halloween, asked, is it okay to murder on Halloween? Any other day it would be extremely wrong to do murder. On Halloween, I'm gonna say for the yes, it's okay because it falls within the theme of it all. Spooky, scary, otherworldly. So there you have it. It is completely okay to murder on Halloween. Do it at your own pace. Do it slowly. There are many methods that you could use. And again, only one day where it is somewhat acceptable. Not fully, not 100%, but somewhat acceptable. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out. Get out of here.